Okay. Hello everyone. My name is Rebecca Yang. I'm the marketing manager from AI Rudder. We're very thrilled to be able to speak in today's session. So thank you so much, Alibaba Cloud, for having us here. As you could see it on the slide, AI Rudder, we're actually a leading voice AI company in SEA. That means we offer voice AI solutions to companies, many in SEA. We were also established in 2019, and today, within a year's time, we already had over 100 clients in the area. So our expertise really lies in this field. That's why today my topic would be, how does voice AI reshape B2C communication? Actually, I just heard what PT Digital has mentioned. So basically, they also have a call center. I think what he talked about was very good. Actually, our voice AI is a solution that can compensate what human agents in call centers can do. But I will just talk more details about it later. And also, I think when you guys hear the term voice AI, it's very common that probably there's a huge question mark in your head, and that is, what is voice AI? Well, we get these questions so often from our clients, no matter it's potential clients or existing clients. So don't worry, it's going to be the first thing I'm going to cover in today's agenda. Okay, so here are the contents that I'm going to talk about for today's presentation. So the first part would be, as I mentioned, what is voice AI? And the second part is who are we? So basically our current progress and also the stories of our team. And for the third part is how voice AI reshapes B2C communication. So if you guys are interested in innovation in tech and especially in AI, I would strongly recommend you guys to stick with my presentation because to be honest, what we do is all of this. Okay. So the first part is what is voice AI? So in this part, I will briefly explain the concept, the voice AI, so what voice AI can do. And then for the second part, I will mention how does voice AI talk like a human being. Okay, so yeah, for this part, I just want to give you guys like a overview of voice AI. Okay, so yeah, first of all, what is voice AI? As you guys can see it on this part of the slide, I put a message, an image of chatbot here because I'm pretty sure everyone here knows what is chatbot. So with chatbot, businesses are able to automate a lot of B2C communication tasks, for instance, like customer service, promotional products, customer survey, or simply remind the customers to do certain things. Actually, what voice AI can do is very similar to chatbot, except the fact that we take a huge step further. So voice AI, instead of sending text messages on the screen, just like the chatbot here, directly talk with customers by voice on the phone. Of course, it doesn't have to be happen on the phone. It can also happen on an app like WhatsApp, but that's the basic idea. Voice AI talks with consumers just like another human being. You can also think of it as I put it here, we can create a customized Siri, for every business to engage with their customers in different business scenarios. Yeah, so that's the basic concept of voice AI. And here I kind of listed 3 key advantages of voice AI. So the first one is what I call instant interaction. So with this one, what I mean is that with voice AI, you don't have to worry about situations like, okay, I send this message to this customer, but he never replies, because voice AI talks with customers on the phone. So we're always going to have instant interaction with the customer to get his instant feedback. Unless he hangs up. But even though he hangs up the phone, it's also a kind of response and feedback from the customer. That means maybe either he's too busy or he's just not that satisfied with our customer service. So we have to improve. And also compared with human agents, voice AI is actually much more efficient and in fact cheaper. So with voice AI, it can actually make over like 1 million calls per day. And also with voice AI, there's no training, office room, and management fee, and also compensation needed. So we can actually help businesses to cut over 50% of labor cost in their call centers. And also to give you guys like a more clear understanding, here I put a demo of our voice AI in which our voice AI talks with a customer in real life. Okay, I will just play it for you guys.
Sorry, Rebecca, there's no voice.
Oh, there's no voice? Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Yeah, let me check. It's no voice. Don't know why. Check.
Or probably you play the video.
Yeah, I was playing the video.
Instead of in the PowerPoint, yes.
Yeah, does this work now if I play it now?
No.
No?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's okay. It's okay. But basically, if you guys are interested, for this part, I'm just gonna skip. But if you guys are interested to listening how our voice AI talks with humans in real life, you're always welcome to just visit our official website, airudder.com here. Actually, this video is at the top of the homepage, so you can just listen to it, by yourself. But here, I'm just gonna skip. But basically, the idea of voice AI is that it can talk with human beings, just like another human being. Okay, so that was a basic concept of voice AI, and I hope you guys now have like a more clear overview of it. But I guess for now, there's probably another question popping up in your mind, and that is, how do you guys do it? This is also like a big question that I always get from our current clients. So I can explain it briefly here. That means I will explain how does voice AI talk like a human. It's interesting because if you ask this question to one of our technical experts, I think he's going to talk to you for 3 days nonstop with unbelievably huge passion. But luckily today it's just me, so I can just put it in a very simple way. So basically, voice AI talks with its own ear, brain, and mouth. And when I say ear, brain, and mouth, I mean the three technologies that is very similar to humans' ear, brain, and mouth. Okay, so for the first technology is what we call ASR, short for automatic speech recognition. You can actually think of it as humans' ears. So with this technology, voice AI could transcribe every sentence that it hears from the human being into text, okay? And then this text will send to the next process for further analysis. And then the next process is what we call NLU, short for natural language understanding. You can think of it as human's brain. So at this stage, what the voice AI does is actually put an intention label on the sentence it hears from the human being. So it tries to identify the intention of the sentence it hears from the human. And here, like in this infographics, is actually an example. So for instance, the human says, "I love you" to the voice AI, okay? And for the next step, voice AI probably will label like the sentence, "I love you" as love confession. And then it will comes up with like a suitable response to this sentence, also in text form. And then here we go with the third step, which is called text to speech. You can think of it as human's mouth. So with this technology, voice AI would generate the voice, based on the text response it comes up with, and get back, speak back to the human being. And in this example, the voice AI says, "I love you too," back to the human being. And so with those three key technologies, the voice AI could finish countless rounds of communication with a human being until like a certain aim is fulfilled. For instance, it successfully answered some questions from the human being, or it successfully promoted some kind of product to the human being. So yeah, that's a basic idea. Yeah, to summarize, voice AI just function as a human being with technologies to finish the conversation with real humans. Okay, so that would be the first part. Where I briefly explain the concept of voice AI and the mechanism of voice AI. So for the second part, and also if you guys are interested to know more about voice AI, you can just check our blogs like on our website, which is airudder.com, where we explain more details about voice AI. And for the second part, yeah, is who are we? So here I'm gonna kind of introduce you guys our current progress and the story of our team. So for the current progress, now we have already made over 20 million calls for clients globally, and we cover like all of those industries that I write down here. And as mentioned, we already have over 100 clients in the area. Actually, in financial industry, now we're working with Adira Finance. And in e-commerce industry, we're now working with Shopee. And then for online traveling, we're now working with Traveloka. So we have all of those, enterprise level clients across industries. And also those are the 5 languages that we now support in SEA and also in India. And speaking of the story of our team, those 2 gentlemen here are actually our founders. So Teng Zheng and Kun Wu. Teng Zheng is the CEO of AI Rudder. He also used to be the co-founder of Qtech. And Kun Wu is the CEO of AI Rudder. He used to be the head of AI Lab in Qtech, and he was a leader of Touchboard Keyboard Engine and Chatbot project. And speaking of Qtech, I don't know if you guys have heard the name before, but it's actually the company behind the world's largest and most popular keyboard app, which is called Touchpool. And here are some key metrics of Touchpool. I'm not going to go into too much details in it, but basically those 2 had more than 10 years of experience in voice and AI technologies, and also in the internet industry. And now here is a very interesting timeline of our founders, right? It's very interesting. I will just go through it with you guys. So in 2008, our COO, Tan, he co-founded Qtech, his first company. By then, it was just a startup consist of 5 people. And then 2 years later, Kun also joined Qtech. And here is when the magic happened. So in 10 years' time, the 2 had led the technical team in Qtech conquered numerous difficulties and developed numerous successful AI projects until in 2018, Qtech's IPO in the US. And so that was really the highlight. But you guys know entrepreneurs, they never stop. So actually after 2018, the 2 founded their second company, which is us, AI Rudder, which they aim to use to bring the best voice AI technology to SEA. Yeah, and then the rest of the story I already mentioned, we are progressing quite well, and we believe we're on the right path. And also the reason why we are now bringing voice AI technology to SEA is because it has already been a huge trend in China. It is now helping businesses in China engaging billions of consumers and maybe customers. So we're thinking now is the right time to bring this innovation to SEA. And our current progress shows that we're doing it very right. Okay, so that was like the story of our team and our current progress. And the third part, I'm going to talk about how voice AI reshapes B2C communication. So here I will talk about, first of all, the scenarios in which you can use voice AI. And second, voice AI vs human agents. So basically the advantages of voice AI over human agents. Okay. Okay, so first, scenarios to use voice AI. Here are the 4 key scenarios in which we figured out, and also actually not we figured out, but we figured out with our clients in which they can use voice AI. But it's important to mention, as I put it here, there's actually no limitation in which businesses can use voice AI, because as long as they have the need to engage with customers on a large scale, no matter it's outbound or inbound, voice AI is a suitable solution because we can help to do like a customized voice AI specifically for this business to fulfill their aim. So those 4 are just like the scenarios that we have explored with our clients, but that's not the limitation. So the first one is what we call telemarketing AI. It's quite self-evident, so you can use it to promote products and promote some special offers, love your products, yeah. And then the second one is what we call loan collection AI. So with loan collection AI, you could automate the loan collection process for a lot of financial institutions, because collecting loan back from debtors could be time consuming and then labor intensive and honestly very boring and not that efficient. And then for the third part is telesurvey AI. So you can use voice AI to verify some important information with customers and collect some feedback from customers. And for the fourth type of AI is what we call customer service AI. So you could use this to deal with customer inquiries and complaints, instead of human agents. However, if the case becomes too complicated, you can also ask, it's not like you ask, the voice AI would also pass like this customer to your human agent and for them to handle like more complex processes. And for the first 3 types of AI, it's actually outbound. So that means the voice AI would initiate the call with the customers to call them in the first place, to fulfill an aim. And for the last part, customer service AI is inbound. So our voice AI will just stand by, waiting for the calls from customers and then just dealing with the inquiries and complaints. Okay, so that would be the main scenarios that you can now use voice AI. And to give you guys like a more clear overview, here is a very simple case study of our telemarketing AI. So we've done this with one of our clients in the insurance industry. So basically what they do with our telemarketing AI is that they use our AI to call a large list of prospects and filter out uninterested ones. And then the voice AI would only pass high quality prospects to the human agents for more complex processes like payment and whatever. And then after every call with the customer, the voice AI would also send messages afterwards to further boost the conversion. And the results that this client gets is quite spectacular, because after 3 and 4 months of adoption of our voice AI, they have 20% boosted improvement in their sales rates, and also like a 10% boosted revenue for the whole company. Okay, and here is a very brief overview of voice AI vs human agents. So for the first 3 advantages, I'm just gonna skip because I already made it clear in my previous illustration. So improvement on efficiency, and also the cut on cost, and also the revenue boosted. And those 2 are like some other advantages of voice AI. The first one is data friendly. So after every call, the data including like the call duration, customer feedback, customer status, or even customer mood will be kind of recorded by voice AI and analyzed by voice AI. And this big data analysis could be used by the organizations to have better management decisions. And that cannot really happen with human agents, because it's very hard to manage all of this data with human agents. And the last one is what I call flexible, because with voice AI, it's very easy to scale up and down your calling volume, because if you have low calling volumes, you can just activate like a few number of voice AI agents working for you. And if like in this period, you have like huge number of calls to make, you can have like a lot of voice AI agents working for you, so that's no problem. But it's also important to mention that voice AI is very suitable to automate a lot of repetitive and relatively easy calling tasks, but we still need human agents to handle those very complex negotiations during a call, just as PD Digital said. So voice AI would be like a very good, I would say, compensation with your human agents. So by combining voice AI and human agents, the calling center of organization will be much, much more efficient. Okay, so I think that was basically all my presentation. Here is a recap, because at the beginning of the presentation, I posted a question, and that is, how does voice AI reshape B2C communication? And now here are the 3 key takeaways. The first one is human-like voice AI can be used to automate any B2C communication process. And the second one is, compared with human agents, voice AI operates with like 1,000 more times efficiency and 50% of cost for businesses. And the last one is that voice AI has been a huge trend in China, and AI Rudder is bringing this innovation in SEA with our top technology. Okay, and if you guys are more interested to know more about AI, our CEO Kun Wu has done like a webinar before, but he's much more professional than me. And the webinar is how is AI revolutionizing the financial industry, in which he talked about what is AI, the classification of AI, and AI's usage in financial industry, and also and also the enablers of AI. And also, if you're interested, you can subscribe to our blog, as I mentioned, our website. And also, for more information regarding voice AI, or you want to schedule like a demo or free trial with us, you can always visit our website here to submit your contact details, and our BD team will reach to you later. And the last part is interesting part. I just put it here. If you guys are interested, also feel free to connect with us on LinkedIn. So on the left is Kun Wu, the person that I mentioned for a million times in this presentation. He's our CEO, so you can just search his name on LinkedIn, and then he will pop up, and you can connect with him. And then on the right is me. Rebecca Yang. Shafi is actually my Chinese name. And my picture is also here with a little makeup. But basically you can just connect with us. We welcome all the, no matter if you guys are from Indonesia or other countries, we are interested to know more people and to bring like AI insights to more people. I think that's it. Thank you very much. That's my presentation.